All right, we are live. Happy Saturday night, St. Patrick's Day Eve. That's why I'm wearing green to celebrate St. Patty's Day, Luck of the Irish. My mom's birthday is actually tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, tonight I know it's kind of late notice, but I came across a bit of news a few days ago that was kind of discouraging in terms of a talking about a national or global Linux desktop. Anyway, Quint is here from the south to join me.
Hi.
At least briefly, we'll go into discussion here in a few minutes. Um, yeah, I didn't really have anything planned for tonight. I'm going to try to jump on tomorrow, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock for the usual Sunday daylight show. But yeah, there was a bit of news this week, and what Google is doing, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. Get to that, and it was kind of disappointing news. It was kind of surprising actually. So, which does not bode well. Google is, something that we talked about during we did was the 5 Ubuntu shows about the possibility of a national or global Linux desktop featuring Ubuntu or whatever would work. But Google would have been one of the major players, and maybe they still are. Based of what I've seen, uh, market share still Linux is still 2-3%. I believe, at least for the near future, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am totally wrong. But from what I've seen, I believe the Linux desktop for the masses is dead. At least for the next 2, 3, maybe even more years. I hope I'm wrong. Like I said, I hope I'm totally wrong, but I don't like what I am seeing. So that will be the discussion for this evening. We have Peabody, Jonathan C., Kenny, hello. So I do want to say again, happy Patrick's Day for all the Irish people out there. Um, Thank you all the Patreon and PayPal supporters. I know some of you like to remain anonymous, so you know who you are. Thanks again. If you haven't already, check out the latest full Skype test I did with our friend Stephanie last Sunday morning. We recorded it, and we did it in Windows, and it was flawless. And she's, like I said, she's in Germany. She's more than 4,000 miles from way away from me. And that Skype test, at least for in Windows 10, was pretty good. I have to give credit where credit is due. And Skyping, video Skyping, with the built-in recorder, I didn't use any external apps, was pretty good. So check out that Skype test that I did with Stephanie, and we had a good laugh. We both got a case of the giggles. So check it out if you haven't already. All right, so Bob Roby, good morning. Yeah, for you it is good morning. Wow, thank you for coming on. Benjamin, hello. Steve Gunnick, what's up, man? Anyway, we'll give it a few more minutes. Like I said, this was not really on the schedule, as I guess some of them aren't. One of these days I'll do this full time. Anyway.
It's so weird talking to you about what all the services you use because I'm always with Switch to Linux and he's Mr. Privacy.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. But, once again, once you get on the web, there is no privacy, in my opinion. There's always a certain level where no matter how private or secure you try to be, there's always that little possibility or
Yeah.
that somebody's way. I mean, how do you really know? I'm not saying don't be secure or private. That's not what
Yeah.
I'm saying. But
I'm not as private. I'm not as serious as he is. I don't I have a Nextcloud. I have my own email server, stuff like
yeah,
that, but I don't have anything super crazy. Like I don't encrypt all my traffic with Tor and everything.
yeah, sure.
I just don't find that necessary.
Yeah. Peabody says DT says Skype is not supported in Linux. I believe the desktop app is. You can go straight to the Skype website, Microsoft Skype website, and there
Yeah.
is a download for Linux.
The desktop app is there. I have it on my
Yeah,
computer.
yeah. It works. I've tested it. There is no built-in recording function, not that I'm aware of in the Linux version, only in Windows, which I tested last week. And it worked. I was really surprised. It's free. It was stable. Again, she's
What
4,000 miles away and it works. So
what you can do is you can just fire up OBS and
yeah,
just take a recording that way.
yeah, you can.
Or simple screen recorder. It just depends.
Yeah,
Whatever
I
screen
just did it
recording
too.
software.
Yeah, well, OBS will record both sides of the conversation. Simple, I believe it's one way. Just you, I think. I'm not sure. I really
I
haven't
know I
tried it.
don't use Simple Screen Recorder. I
Yeah.
know some people use I know a lot of people use Simple Screen Recorder for recording, and then they use OBS for streaming. But I use OBS for both,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
mainly because it just works.
Yeah, now I know there are alternatives to Skype that you could try, and I just haven't had
There's
the time.
Nextcloud Talk. That's what
Yeah,
Tom
yeah. There's
is trying to move our supporter discussions
there's something
to.
called Framatalk. Somebody mentioned. I think it's a
There's
French
another
thing.
one called Wire.
Wire, Jitsi. There's tons, but again, I just don't have the time. Skype I've had before. I've used that to call my dad in Italy, and it's worked. So, you know,
There obviously is Google Hangouts, which is what we're on now.
right? Yes. Well, the Skype thing, if you've seen it, there's an automatic split screen effect. Like it doesn't toggle back and forth between me and you. It's a split screen, so that was nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, yeah. It's new and it works. I was really surprised. It it doesn't give me a progress bar like to tell me like it's recording fine or not. There's just a timer. So when we were done talking, I was telling her, "Man, I hope this works." We stopped. I played it back, and I was really well. Some of you have seen the recording. I was really impressed. So yeah.
So yeah,
Anyway.
let's. I want to move on to the to what this stream is about, which is the Google thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right here, I
Let's.
have a Google Pixel phone. It's a nice phone. The
Yeah.
hardware is not great though. Um, I don't particularly like it. I think some of the previous Google phones were better than this one.
Well, from what I've read, the Pixel 3 has the best camera on the market. From what I
I don't
understand.
want to get the Pixel 3 though because it uses DRM wireless charging,
Oh,
which
okay.
this is a Pixel 2. It doesn't. I want
Okay.
to. The thing is, my next phone. I want to move into a phone that supports Lineage, sort of like what Tom does, because I want to move away from like all the Google services on
Okay.
Android. I disabled all of them on here, but it just doesn't work very well. Like some apps crash without
Yeah.
Google Play services.
Yeah. Okay, let's get started on the topic. I'll try and keep chat of the chat here. Again, welcome everybody. Again, sorry for the late notice. There was a bit of disappointing news from what I think it was Thursday or so. Um, Google is going to be cutting back. I think it's called the Create division or Google Hardware division, and from there, I guess they're going to be cutting back on employees or, you know, putting them somewhere else. The tablet and laptop division, and maybe more, and cutting back on future products. For the last, well, a long time on this channel, we've been talking about the possibility and the timing for a national or global standard Linux desktop, meaning you can walk into a store, see an Ubuntu machine or whatever machine, ABC Linux machine, buy it for about $400 and it works without any bugs out of the box. It works because that's what you're paying for. Similar to buying an Apple machine or Windows PC machine. We already have a national quality standard laptop, and that's the Pixelbook. Okay, for $1,000, you're getting a 5-in-1, actually a 6-in-1 machine, laptop, tablet, Android, Chrome OS, Linux, and soon you'll be able to like dual boot. You're not going to get that from Windows or Apple. It is a superb product. 2 years later, I mean, the Pixelbook came out in 2017, and that's a type of product. Yeah, all right. So you spend $1,000. That thing will last you 10 years and still be fresh out of the box, in my opinion. You won't be able to get that with a Windows machine or an Apple product. So there is a wonderful Linux standard laptop, but the desktop, I'm not seeing it. And with Google's announcement that they'll be cutting back, their division, Google hardware division, on their laptop and tablets, and on future products. I'm assuming Chromebooks are staying because they are selling, and the Pixel phone, I believe, is a pretty good seller. But that was very, very, very disappointing news, and it caught me by surprise. We've talked about Google as one of the major players, a potential company with the resources to make a national desktop machine for about 400 US dollars, give or take, a quality machine like the Pixelbook, or most Chromebooks for that matter. Chromebooks start about $200 and go up. That's not bad. But with Google's announcement, that takes I think, I'm not 100% sure, I think that takes Google out of the picture in the foreseeable future as a major player company for creating a national Linux desktop. And I got to tell you, since last year and 3 months of this year, we've talked about it on the Ubuntu shows, 5 of them. Good feedback, very good conversation. Yes, now is the time. Last year was the time. 2 years ago was the time for a Linux desktop for the masses. Because there's a lot of people, for whatever reason, they're not really happy with Windows 10. But there's no choice. Either you go buy a $400 Windows machine, Windows 10, or spend $2,000 for a nice Apple, computer. There's nothing in the middle. That's the sweet spot. And will Google apparently out of the picture, I think the Linux desktop for the masses is dead. I hate to say that, and I hope I'm totally wrong. Now, I don't mean by downloading your own distribution and installing it on the spare machine or a live USB. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking walking into a store, here's $400 or so, and taking home that Ubuntu machine or a Gentoo machine or whatever machine. Yeah, it's not the news I wanted to hear, and it's very disappointing. And my guts and my instincts tell me that the Linux desktop for the masses, which is still a 2 or 3%, I think it's dead. I hope I am wrong. We shall see, but I'm not seeing anything in the foreseeable future. And that's really what I had to say about this one briefly. Let me go back into the comments here. I know Yugi joined in, STS Tech, St. Raphael, welcome. Hello, Sleepy. If you want to join, let me know. Bob Roby, you upgraded the RAM from 4 to 8 gig. Very good. Okay. And SSD, yeah, oh yeah. Quint, did you want to comment?
Can I just say something before we go? Before I have to go.
Yeah.
That I feel like our other only hope is if System 76 was able to do some sort of like store type thing, like Apple. I feel like they have the resources to do it because they are doing stuff like that 1,000 computer that starts at $1,000, the Thelo or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I feel like people might want to see that in store if you're going to buy a computer that expensive. I feel like we could have hope for System 76 trying to launch a store.
They've been successful from what I've read. I guess they make a good product. I don't know. I guess their service is pretty good, so that's commendable. But again, we've talked for the masses, for the mom and pops, for the, almost 1 billion users of Windows. I think it's like 800 million. The sweet spot is the $400 sweet spot. Okay, because that's probably what a lot of Windows users pay for a basic Windows computer. It's either that or an expensive Mac, or maybe a Chromebook for school. So there's nothing to fill that void. That's why it has to be about $400. Now, if you want to spend more than that, then you can go to your Apple product. If you want a nice laptop based on Linux that'll last you 5-10 years, you want a Pixelbook, but those are $1,000 or more. Actually, the Pixelbook's on sale for less than $1,000, $850, which is not bad. For a quality product. Peabody says awesome machine for $1,200. Is that the System 76?
Yeah, it is. He just put I have a Thelo above.
Got it. Okay.
The other thing that may happen is that what if Dell starts putting their Linux machines in stores? Because they make Linux machines, but they sell them online.
Yeah. If it's $400, go for it. Absolutely. Again, that's just, they have to be either in Dell stores or in Best Buys, Walmarts, your grocery store. I mean, I don't know. Just put it out there so people can see it, touch it, try it, feel it, and that way they can be convinced that Linux is not full of bugs. Linux is not as bad as what Linux is not just for geeks. Because right now, that's what a lot of consumers think, and that's why Linux is still 2 or 3% market share. Again, I keep saying my mom's homemade bread has more market share than Linux, and the Google announcement does not help. So, anyway, yeah, DT says, touch it, try it, feel it. What did I just click on? Welcome to the late night version of Total OS today. How are you, DT? DT, if you want to join, let me know. Sleepy says, what about Microsoft investing in hardware? Fine, they can create the Linux desktop, and I'll be fine with that, just to get it out there. Somebody, any market forces to get the machine out there. I mean, I'm talking about this really, this month is 9 years of this channel. First of all, thank you. To try to tell Windows users, hey, there's something else out there. I've been talking about it today. I've been blue in the face. And I've done this without sponsorships, without anybody paying me. I've done it in my own time, and maybe it's not enough. I don't know. All right, let's get DT in here.
Yeah, sorry, it's loud. We have friends over, and so they're just leaving. So that's what
No problem.
Why the microphone muted.
I thought they were saying, "What, Linux? Get out of here!" No, just kidding. Good evening, on Topper. Sleepy, how are you?
Hi, Toss. Hi, Quint. Hey,
Hi.
Welcome. Bradley says 9 years. Congrats. Yes, this month is 9 years of Total OS today. So
I'm trying to think. How old was I in 2000? Okay, so I was in kindergarten in 2010. I was
Wow.
6, I guess.
Wow. Okay. Well, and you're here. You came to the right place, so you're the smart one. But no, when I started this channel, I had no idea. I started as a hobby, really. I was curious about Linux. I kept hearing about it and stuff, and I thought, my inquisitive New York mind says, "Hey, what's this freaking Linux?" Hey, and that's how it started. A year later, I did my first podcast, and here we are. I'm proud. I have to pat myself on the back because I did this without any sponsorships or anybody paying me. So I did good.
I have a channel, but I just don't feel like I have time to upload stuff.
I don't do as much as I do. I mean, I really had to stop distro hopping to try and do more live shows. I mean, it was either one or the other. So, Jonathan says, do you think users should also receive a live USB with a purchase of a Linux computer? Nah. It wouldn't hurt, but I think for complete newbies who say Linux, blah, 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 you have to keep it simple. Just let them buy the computer and nothing else. Don't give them anything extra to confuse them. Just let them take it home, plug it in, touchy-feely, try, click, 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 boom, it works, and go from there.
Linux also has great OEM setup, too. Like, I've ran the OEM setup wizard before in Ubuntu just to try it out.
Mm-hmm.
It works well. I've actually had a use case for it where we had a computer that I was setting up here, but I was going to take it to our other house, and I wanted to run the initial setup there.
Yeah.
So what you can do with the OEM setup is you run through like a basic setup where you actually get everything installed, and and it creates a temporary OEM user for you. And then you boot into a desktop where you can basically go in and pre-install apps and drivers and stuff. And then when you just shut it down, and then you basically pack it in the box, and then the user will take it out, and it runs through a setup wizard again.
Okay.
That doesn't have the installer in it. Right.
Yeah. Benjamin's saying Mac OS is stable, Apple hardware isn't terrible, but it's not worth what they charge. For some that's true, but for a lot of people it's not. I mean, I won't pass judgment because I don't have it. I don't have the budget for that. But if I did, I would buy it. I would test it, run it to give my personal touchy-feely opinion on it. But it works. The products work. Whether you think they're overpriced or not, they work. A lot of YouTubers with hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers, that is all they use. Now, can they all be stupid? I don't think so. You know.
Honestly, I don't
Yeah.
I don't like Apple products. I have to have a Mac for school. It's a requirement. So I have a MacBook
Yeah.
Pro. I have a 2017 MacBook Pro. It was the last generation without that stupid what is it called? The T2 chip, that thing that basically prevents you from installing Linux on it.
Yeah.
It was the last generation without that, which is good.
If I ever bought a Mac, it would not be for the purpose of installing. I mean, I know how Linux works. I don't need to be proven right or wrong. I would buy the Mac just to use it, mainly for multimedia, like
Yeah, but
video, like processing. I would use
there's
it just
other
for
stuff.
that.
There's
Yeah.
other stuff it locks too, which is why
Oh,
I'm kind of against it.
okay. Hello, DT.
Hey, what's up? You
What's
guys
up?
doing fine? Yeah,
Yeah.
I did too.
It's been a while. Yeah, how you been?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I've been working a lot lately. I'm about to take like a 10-day vacation though, so I'm
Nice.
actually off for a little
Yeah.
while. So I saw you were streaming. I figured I'd check it out.
Yeah, wonderful.
I
Man,
know,
vacation. I
DT.
haven't taken one in 6 years. It's been a while.
DT, you have Mastodon, right? I was telling Toss how awesome Mastodon is. I just signed up the other day.
Yeah, it's basically Twitter. It's a Twitter-like experience itself, without a lot of the negative stuff that goes on Twitter.
You're on Mastodon.tech, right? Is that the instance you're on?
Yeah, that's where I'm signed up at.
Yeah, because I think that's where I'm following you. I'm on Fossadon.
Yeah,
Is
it's
what-
Mastodon is of course decentralized, and it's free and open source software. Anybody can create their own personal instance of Mastodon. I mean, I could create distrodude.mastodon whatever, register a domain, set up my own instance of it if I had the time and the inclination to do so. So there's thousands of these Mastodon
I
instances.
feel like I'm
out there.
listening to an episode of the History Channel. 10,000 years ago, the mastodons went extinct. That gave us Twitter.
I know. Tom was considering setting up his own server, mainly for he wants to use it for YouTube notifications, because YouTube doesn't do a very good job even when you have the bell icon on.
Yeah. Well, that's what a lot of people use things like Twitter for. Is they use it for notifications mainly.
I don't.
Like-
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you kept up with his channel recently? He completely redid his channel. He's doing all sorts of social media now.
Yep.
Does that
Well,
limit your reach with Mastodon though? If it's all decentralized, do you have to be on the same server to follow someone?
No.
No.
Oh,
You can be on any Mastodon instance, so it really doesn't matter which one you're on. You can follow
Yeah.
anybody; they can follow you. But it does matter. You want to be on an instance of Mastodon that's reliable. So Mastodon.technology is the one I'm on. It's a pretty large instance of Mastodon. There's not a lot of downtime with it. If it's just somebody with some really crappy hosting that doesn't know what they're doing when they set it up, you could have a bad experience if that's the instance.
Yeah, I am
So-
following DistroTube, and I'm on Fossadon, and he's on Mastodon.tech. And it's like, it's like a network basically of how the servers can basically choose to enable if they want to be discovered by other servers.
Right. It's all done. It's almost like an email address. So if I'm at mastodon.tech, my username is distrotube@mastodon.tech. That's how you would follow me. So it doesn't matter if you're on mastodon.social or Linux Rocks or Fosstodon or
Yeah.
whatever instance of Mastodon you're on. You can always follow somebody by their username at instance they're on.
Yeah, you know what? I'm on the MeWe social platform right now. I like it. There's no ads. They seem to be serious about privacy. Easy to use. Wonderful user interface. I jumped on it. Was it last month? I got 30 people joined in on the Total OS Today page. I really like it. It's much more simplified, I believe. And I do believe they are trying to stay more private, as it were, than Facebook. So that's probably what I'll stay on. I was telling Quint, I had jumped on Diaspora, was it last fall, and they booted me out after 60 days because of lack of use. Well, screw you too, So I didn't go back. Sorry, I was busy. I'm sorry. You know.
Diaspora is one of these another kind of decentralized, free and open source social network. But Diaspora has never really caught on the way
Yeah.
Mastodon has really, in the last couple of years especially, really exploded. Mastodon, people kind of understand how to work Mastodon. Diaspora, for one thing, it's complicated to install. It's kind of hard to set up your own instance of Diaspora, where
I don't
Mastodon's
remember.
a little easier. So.
Well, Diaspora sounds like a smart toilet app.
Right, but the name probably doesn't help.
That really Diaspora. I'm thinking of
Well, I love-
Pepto-Bismol, you know?
I love saying that I'm going on a MeWe break.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really.
There's
Well,
another
MeWe
one.
sounds suggests, but I had to join something other than Facebook, so yeah.
Well, on Mastodon, you don't tweet, you toot. So
You know, the funny thing about that is that the creator of Mastodon didn't know what that meant. Because I think he's German, I want to say, and so they don't use that as a.
He's
they don't know
German,
that
like
as a
Arnold.
term.
I'm on Mastodon. Blah, blah, blah.
So he thought that it was just like the noise that a mastodon would make.
yeah, he's talking about the noise that a elephant I guess
Yeah.
makes through his nose. But of course, here in the U.S., when we think of somebody tooting, we have a different.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
It's the magic.
yeah, like a Tootsie Roll. Sure.
The other one, there's also a new one that I think just
Shut up, Sleepy.
just, spawned up in November called Pixel Fed. It's a decentralized Instagram.
Pixel Fed?
Yeah.
Who thinks of these names? Okay, all right.
Well, we're getting a lot more of these because of how bad Facebook and Twitter have handled themselves in the last couple of years. With
All right, I'll start
privacy
my
and
own
security.
social platform. Forgetaboutit.com, okay? And just be told, you want privacy? Forget about it. You want to forget about it. Just join in. We're all honest here.
Well, the biggest complaint for a lot of people with things like Facebook is you have to use Facebook because everybody's on Facebook.
I know.
Where else would you go? Well, you know what? There's
I know.
alternatives now.
I know.
And a couple of these alternatives are starting to catch on. Some people are gravitating to some of these. Now, a lot of them aren't going to make it.
You know, doesn't Facebook have live streaming, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, maybe I should try one of these streams on Facebook Live to talk about the alternatives. I haven't tried that yet, you know.
I block Facebook on my computer. Like, I have it blocked in my host file, so you can't even access it.
I mean, I would do it just to get back at Facebook, you know, but
The issue with Facebook that I've ran into is there's some businesses that their website is a Facebook page, which can cause some problems.
yeah.
Well, if you're trying to reach Windows users, Facebook might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I would, like I said, I'm just speculating. Do it live because since a lot of people, 2 billion people are on it, just to tell them, hey, yes, I'm on Facebook now, obviously live, but have you thought about a private alternative or whatever, you know? Just to let them know it does work. Just a thought, you know. For those of you joining in late, welcome for this happy St. Patrick's Day Eve for me. That's why I'm wearing green. You know, green means go.
I didn't
OS,
even
right?
realize that tomorrow was St. Patrick's
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah. So happy St. Patrick's Day. I came across an article a few days ago. Google is going to be cutting back their hardware division, cutting back employees on development of tablets and laptops and future products. That caught me by surprise. We talked about Google being one of the potential players for a future national or global standard Linux desktop, the way Chromebooks are a standard laptop based off of Linux for $200 or more. Great, solid product. But with them cutting back, I believe they're out of the picture, I think. I hope I'm totally wrong. They're out of the picture for a national Linux desktop, and I'm not, you know, I browse the news, I try to get the feel. My guts tell me that a Linux desktop, at least for the masses for now, I believe is dead. Again, I hope I'm wrong. Now, what I mean for the masses, I don't mean us geeksters. You can download an OS and go off a live USB. I'm talking the mom and pop. You know, Google was one, and maybe still is a major player. It doesn't seem so. I think Amazon is, even Microsoft. As much as we go, oh, Microsoft, just get the machine out there. Just get the Ubuntu desktop or ABC Linux. Just get it out there to the masses to show them, hey, if you don't really need Windows, you don't have to spend $2,000 for a Mac. You can spend $400 or $500 on a Linux desktop and it's just what you need. But I don't see it.
I saw the Linux Gamer did a really good video on something like this, where he basically said that the majority of people don't even realize that Windows is a separate product. They just think it's a computer, and so that's why there are that's why there are not a lot of people don't know about these alternative operating systems, because they don't even know that Windows exists.
You know, when the day comes when I'll think we'll have a shot is if you turn on your TV and you see the Ubuntu show or the Linux show or any kind of Linux show, dedicated TV show, half hour, or even on you, like I did the Ubuntu show. I did it on my own. There was no sponsors or nothing. But let's say a major company like Coca-Cola would like to sponsor the next Ubuntu show. Not because they know what Linux is, but because, well, Toss, you seem like a nice family friend. Let's just sponsor Coca-Cola. Then it's little things like that where you'll know that, maybe Linux may be going more mainstream, but I don't see it. There's been no growth on the desktop since I started in 2010. Again, this month, March, is 9 years of this channel, so happy birthday to the channel. Thank you. But there's been no growth on the desktop. It's been so disappointing. 2 or 3% is still pitiful in 2019. I haven't seen the growth. And with Google seemingly out of the picture, I was like, DT, how do you see it?
Well, I see it as I'm not sure if we're ever going to see growth on the Linux desktop, but I'm not sure if we even really need it. For that 2 or 3% of us that use desktop Linux, having more people use desktop Linux, would that really do anything for us? Linux is so widely used in the server market. Like, we dominate the server market, right? And now increasingly we dominate mobile devices, and the Internet of Things and everything else. Linux is doing just fine. We're well supported by all the major players out there. I don't feel limited by running Linux on the desktop, even though technically I only represent 2 or 3% of the market share. I mean, we're doing just fine. So,
you know what? You make a good point, and I will accept that if people, I don't mean us, but people in general, stop saying, how can Windows users be so gullible, so dumb, and this and that. You can't say that because, again, they cannot walk into a store to buy a Linux machine off the shelf. So until you give them the opportunity,
well, it's different.
Right. So
it's different when you're talking about, the big box stores, your typical Walmart and Target, or even electronic stores like Best Buy and whatnot. You're never going to have Linux desktops or laptops on the shelves, or even machines that are there that don't even have an operating system pre-installed. I mean, I would be fine with that. Matter of fact, most of the machines I buy either used without hard drives, and I put drives and install my own operating system, or even new machines. If I buy like a custom-built machine from some specialty shop, I don't have them install anything on it, Windows or Linux, because they're probably, if they install Linux, they're going to put Ubuntu with GNOME on it, and I'm going to wipe it out anyway. Just don't put an operating system on it. I'll take care of that.
Right.
But again, that's a different. I'm not the kind of user that's going to Best Buy to buy a laptop. So.
We're not the 98% who don't know what the heck's going on.
Right.
That's not us. That's what I'm getting at. So when I say it's dead, I don't mean the Linux is dead for us. I mean for the masses, for the Windows. Again, we don't have to convince. We as Linux users in Windows, like me, we as Linux users, we don't have to convince other Linux users to try Linux. It makes no sense. We have to convince the 98% of Windows users to try it. But let's say they do. Let's say, you know what, DT, that guy Toss mentioned it, so I tried it. It was okay, it was good up to a point, but I had problems, it had potential, I didn't have time. But let's say they tried it, and they liked it to a point, but there was bugs. But then there's an Ubuntu desktop at Best Buy that maybe they might be able to buy. Because either you said something right, but it ain't there. That option is not there. The consumer option is not there. And anyway, that news from Google was so disappointing. So,
well, there is a Linux option. There's a Linux option on the shelves at Best Buy right now, but it's Chrome OS, right? That's
the Chromebooks are fine, but
they're doing well.
Yeah.
My understanding was that, I mean, the Google hardware was a bit sort of aimed at the higher end anyway, right? So I would have thought that if Ubuntu was going to target some hardware manufacturers, maybe the likes of Dell and Lenovo might be a better option for them anyway.
Dell already makes some Linux hardware. There are a few laptops that they make. It's the XPS Developer Edition.
Yeah, but they're expensive. You want lower end sort of hardware.
That's the problem. You want cheap. You want Lenovo. You want Toshiba, and you want them to build sub $500 laptops, for example. You know, the stuff I can go buy a $350 laptop at Best Buy right now, made by Acer or Asus,
Right,
or you know,
right.
but these companies don't put Linux on these machines. It's all
Right.
Windows.
Mhm.
Until you have those budget machines running
Right.
Linux, it won't matter. It's all the expensive developers, boutique machines that are available to us, and we're not going to gain mass adoption offering those kinds of machines to the public.
Woodby says Linux would rock if they did a live broadcast feature. I'm not sure what you mean. I've been doing live features off Linux since last year, man. I'm burned out almost, to be quite honest. I'm not sure what you mean with Beast live broadcast. You can do live shows off of Linux. That's what I'm doing now off Ubuntu. So I'm not sure what you mean.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's talking about doing a live stream over something like YouTube or Twitch. But yeah, with things like OBS, which is in everybody's repos, it's free and open source software.
Yeah.
Anybody can live stream. So
Yeah.
So,
live streaming is not an issue. It's getting some juice, some horsepower behind. Like say I did the Ubuntu show, sponsored by Intel, or sponsored by Amazon, or sponsored by a major player with the resources. Now that says something. It's not because of me. It's because Linux. Oh yeah, we see Linux has potential. So here's a sponsorship from Amazon or something. It's not happening. So what does that tell you? You know. Yeah, go ahead, Quint.
So this is a little off topic. I just wanted to ask you this, DistroTube. Is that Twitter page now yours?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is the DistroTube Twitter page now yours? Did you reclaim it?
No. I can't really reclaim it. I guess I could, but I would have to prove that I'm me to the folks at Twitter. Like
let
I have
me
to prove.
let me call Uncle Guido. Yo, hey.
So I used to have, twitter.com/distrotube, but I deleted my Twitter accounts and my Facebook accounts due to the privacy scandals with those companies.
Yeah.
And then somebody quickly realized, well, this guy, he had a little bit of a following. I'm going to sign up with his name. And all these people now are following the fake DistroTube over on Twitter. That's not me. But anybody that follows my channel knows I would never be on Twitter anyway. But still, there are people following him. I mean, I saw Big Daddy following me over on Twitter, but that's not, the Linux Gamer is following me. And I message these guys. I'm like, hey, just for, so that's not really me that you guys are following. I'm over on Mastodon, so.
They might be helping you out. They're just keeping tabs on this fake DistroTube for you.
Yeah. And I don't know why the guy even does it. Like, he didn't ask my permission. I've never talked to this guy. He says he's a fan of the channel, but I've never talked to him. He's never commented anywhere. I've never talked to him in email or on Reddit or anything.
Yeah.
So the guy's up to something strange. And I guess I could appeal to Twitter, but the only way is I got to send them documentation that, ID, license and stuff, and basically convince Twitter that I'm really me and that the other guy is not me. But why can't you ask the other guy to prove he's me? Why do I have to prove that I'm me? I don't know. It's strange.
That is unique.
I don't think the Linux Gamer even has Mastodon that I'm aware of.
I don't know.
No, he's following. He's on Twitter, and he's following the fake DistroTube on Twitter. That's what I'm saying. These guys are following the fake DistroTube account, and
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh man. What a crazy world.
Yeah.
Anyway, I seldom use Twitter. I had Instagram. I seldom use that. It's there's so much overload of different things to do. It's like I want to breathe. I mean I have them. It's there once in a while, But
I have Instagram just so I can follow friends from school and stuff.
Yeah.
but I don't ever post anything on it.
Yeah, I mean, I have some, friends, family who post. So I'll post every once in a while. But again, when is too much? Too much? When do
Well,
you?
there's
When
too
you?
much drama, especially on Twitter. There's too much drama because
Yeah.
of the nature of the platform.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
can retweet a post and
Yeah.
then respond to it, but they do it in such a way. Twitter has this annoying feature when you retweet something, you don't have to retweet the whole message. You can cherry pick something
Oh.
out of it and take something completely out of context and then, trash somebody in your response. Mastodon does this in a sane way. When you retweet something instead of retweet, basically it does the entire post that person does. You can no longer cherry pick something from them. So,
Which I think is good.
yes, it's a great feature.
When you said retweet, I just thought of two guys having a farting. Oh yeah, take that. Oh yeah.
They actually are smart enough not to call it a retweet. They call it a boost.
A boost. Oh, okay. Boost. It's a boost. Yeah, okay. Well, that'll give you a boost. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
I think in the original, there was a fat
I
fight
remember-
game a couple of years ago where one of your weapons was tooting, farting.
I remember I read a
Oh,
GitHub
God,
issue
okay.
about why Mastodon is toot, and there are people they won't change it. I guess it's already been done.
wow.
They're not going to change it. You can change it on the server, but
Yeah,
that's just
yeah.
on one server.
Yeah, and there are a lot of instances of Mastodon that do change it because every instance of Mastodon, if I created my own instance, I have access to the code. I can change the code. I can change
Wow.
toot to something else, and I set up my own rules for my own instance. So you're free to change everything about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm going to have to go, guys.
Okay. All right,
All right.
Quinn.
It was nice talking to you. I haven't
Yeah, it's been a
seen
while. Yeah, I know it
any of
has
you
been.
guys.
Yeah,
I'm
awesome.
on Switch to Linux, so if you guys want to talk to me, you have to go to Switch to Linux.
Ah, you traitor. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right.
All right, have a good evening.
Okay, I'll stay on for a little bit long. I'm going to get up early in the morning, get cleaned up, and do another Skype news nonsense with our friend Stephanie. I'm going to try to convince her. She's still in Germany, busy writing songs for her new album. I'm going to try to convince her, maybe do like a mini concert for us from there. Because with the Skype test last week, I think she's on DSL. I should ask her. I thought the connection was good on the new Skype anyway, with her being 4,000 miles away, good enough for her to sing. So I'm going to maybe convince her tomorrow. Try and do a mini concert for us. I think that'll be nice.
Yeah, actually, I found that the quality of the audio in Skype quite good, even better than Hangouts.
I
a
was
little bit.
stunned. I mean, we jumped on last Sunday morning, and I said, okay, let's try this. And there's a built-in recorder in the Mac and Windows version. There's like a plus symbol at the bottom. Click that and start recording. And I played it back. I'm like, that ain't really. That's pretty good. I mean, it's I think it's 720p or close to it. But you know what? It's built in. There's nothing extra to install. It worked. So, yeah.
Were you were on Windows when you were doing the Skype?
On
call?
Windows 10, because on the Skype version, on the Windows 10 version of Skype, there's a built-in recorder in Skype.
Okay.
Not on the Linux, at least not yet. I think Mac has it. So I went into Windows. I'm thinking, great, this isn't going to stall. But it was smooth. It really was good. Well, you saw it, Vince, right?
Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
nice.
In fact, I had her do one song. I uploaded because I thought it was good. I mean, it ain't studio quality, but it worked. I'm like, nice. Might as well keep it.
Yeah, cool.
So
I might have to
anyway.
check out
Yeah.
the latest Skype for Linux. I haven't used Skype in so long.
Yeah, I installed it last year. I did one or two. It seemed okay, but then I really don't have to use it. But then I thought, well, Stephanie's on Mac and Skype worked for her in the past. So I thought, okay, well, let's try Skype again. Because if it wasn't for that, I probably would have used OBS or something. But you know what? I said, this works. So anyway.
It does seem like in the last couple of years, really since Microsoft bought Skype,
Yeah.
it does seem like Skype has been on a decline. You don't hear as many people talk about Skype. There's so many alternatives to it now.
Yeah.
It's not the
There
same
are.
product.
If you have the time to run it and test it, and me and especially Stephanie does not. So we just used it. It works, and I'm all for anything that's stable.
I keep
So-
hearing that a lot of businesses use Skype for Business.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe they're promoting that side of things.
Yes. Midnight Modder is Linux dead? That's not what we're saying. Yes. Here, you want to borrow my contacts? Here you go, buddy. Here, put them on. I'm just kidding.
I'm formatting all my drives as soon as
Yes.
this is done.
Yeah. You joined in late, but the Linux desktop for the masses, I believe, is dead.
I don't
hope
know
I'm
how
totally
we're going
wrong.
to do our channels toss now that we all have to switch to FreeBSD.
I know, jeez. Anyway, but
We
if
can't
we
go to
haven't,
Windows.
no, that's fine. I only go into Windows when I have to, like the Skype thing. You know, I use Ubuntu, Mate, like 80-90% of the time. That's how good Linux has gone. But it's just, you know, each time it inches up, it's not quite over the hump yet, you know, for the masses. But anyway, no, Linux is not dead, Midnight Modder. And welcome to the stream, by the way. No, Linux is far from dead. But
And
the
when
Linux
people
desktop,
say Linux is dead, this is people that don't realize.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
open a web browser and go to any website that you can think of, any website you
Yeah.
normally go to, whether it be
Yeah.
Facebook, anything
Yeah.
on Google, Amazon, guess
Yeah.
what is running all those pages? What is serving you those pages? Linux servers.
Mhm.
Everything on the web is running Linux.
Mhm.
Most of what's on the web is running Linux.
It's almost like the Linux desktop is like a disease. Hey, we
Right.
got it on servers desktop. Ugh, get back! You know, it's almost
Right.
like, no, we don't want that. But there are
Yeah,
market
a lot of
forces pushing back. You know,
A lot of people are under the misconception that the Linux desktop, you know, the small percentage of us that use Linux on the desktop, that is Linux. We are a very small niche of what really is the broader Linux, right? So
Would-be
there's a lot-
says you guys are fake. That's right. We are all Windows clones. You've been faked. No, just kidding.
you caught me.
You just tuned in after 40 hours of programming. Holy cow, Midnight.
Wow.
40 hours of programming? Woo! Well, thank
Very
you for
cool.
stopping by. I do appreciate it. Yeah, you could just replay this, but basically, in the nutshell, Google made an announcement. They're cutting back their Google hardware division, cutting back employees or whatever on future products based off of Linux. And that really, I was like, oh, that's not what I wanted to hear. And Google was a major player for the possibility of a national or global standard Linux desktop, like the Chromebooks are a standard Linux laptop. Since they appear to be shying away from that, I don't hear anything else from anybody. That's why I've been questioning, is the Linux desktop dead for the masses, for the Windows users? And I think it is.
Well, I think what will end up happening is Google, you know, the Chromebooks are going to be a very popular thing. Well, Chrome OS is going to be a major operating system on the desktop, on the laptop, but Chrome OS is not really going to be GNU/Linux like we know it. It's
Yeah.
going to be like Mac OS is built on FreeBSD, but it's not really FreeBSD. Same thing with Chrome OS. It's going to be Linux, but it's not the Linux we want to run, right? So
That's true. With
Right.
Beast, we do not refuse to answer. With Beast, I'm going to make an offer you can't refuse. Ask your question. Do you like being a Google server slave? I don't know what you're trying to ask, I'll be honest. Do you
I'm
like being
assuming he's mentioning that the fact that we all have YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously we're all on YouTube, but other than that, I mean, I don't use any other.
I would love to have an alternative to you. Actually, there is. It's called Vimeo. But how many people are going to spend $500, $600, $700 a year?
Right. And the problem with YouTube in particular is
Yeah.
there is no alternative really to YouTube. No
Right.
viable. If you actually want people to view your videos, and most people, if they're going to take the time to
Yeah.
make a video, whether it
Yeah.
be for entertainment or
Yeah.
a tutorial for education, you want
Yeah.
people to actually watch it.
Right.
You have to be on YouTube.
Yes.
The only other place that gets views as far as eyes on your stuff,
Yeah.
if you live stream, Twitch is an alternative.
Yeah.
Facebook is becoming more and more of an alternative, but
Yeah.
they're not really what YouTube is. YouTube is the only game right now.
Yeah.
As soon as there is a viable alternative, I promise you, I'll be one of the first to jump off of YouTube. Same way I jumped off Facebook and Twitter and all these other, bad places.
Yeah, I use the
that I shouldn't
freebie
be.
version of Vimeo. It's solid. It's you could. I don't know if you ever see it, but it's professional. It's well maintained, easy to use. But the freebie version gives you 500 megabytes a week to upload or something. It's but it's free. It's free to try. Now, what they're charging for the year isn't really that outrageous, but it's not free like YouTube.
Right.
So That's why we're here. It's, you know.
And YouTube is not. I mean, YouTube is free, but we make money for YouTube. If our channels are monetized, we're all monetized.
They take their cut. Yeah. As
There
much
are
as we like to
advertisements.
complain. Yeah.
There are advertisements on our videos. Guess who makes most of that money? YouTube. YouTube is serving the ads. People pay YouTube to place their ads on our videos. YouTube is making billions.
And
in
they're not
advertising.
charging us to be on there. So
Right.
it's a partnership. As much as we like to complain because the adpocalypse and the AdSense revenue dropped 50% or more, we've all been there.
So it's
But they're
not
not
like
charging us. So
they're not charging us, but it's not like Google isn't making massive amounts of money.
Right, right. Anselm says, nothing wrong with making money. See, money is like blood. It needs to circulate or else it can't do you any good. So, you know, that's my opinion. My point is you love Linux, right? Would be, yeah, if I didn't, I would not be doing this for 9 years. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, what the point there is. If you, most people that are making videos on YouTube, I'm assuming like whatever topic they're making videos about. But what does that got to do with getting paid for the time you put into?
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
I do work. I expect to get paid. That's.
Well, you know, YouTubers who are successful, not just, and I mean successful monetary, they're not. They're doing it because number one, that they like. You have to like what you're doing first of all. But if they're not making money off of AdSense, trust me, they're making it somewhere, somehow to get paid, to buy the equipment, to feed their kids. You know.
And if you don't want to monetize because you don't want to use AdSense, which is another Google product, obviously most people that you can do.
Some YouTubers don't. They have enough sponsorships or PayPal or whatever that they don't need the ads. And I think that's the right, because if the viewers ask to turn off the AdSense, and you can, I think you should. I think just to say thank you, no ads. You know. Why depend on YouTube? I think we've answered that with Beast. There's no viable alternative.
There's no other place to be. Yeah.
Right now,
If there
really
was
isn't.
some other place to be.
Yeah.
You see, if I wasn't on YouTube, I'd have to be on another platform where I wouldn't get any views. So now I have to find a way to drive traffic to that new place I hosted.
Right. Yeah.
I've got to spend money to try to get people to watch. I mean, I would go broke just trying to get people to even watch my content if I was somewhere other than YouTube. You can't be really anywhere other than YouTube right now.
What you guys think of the upcoming float plane? I don't know what that is. That sounds like something out of Star Wars. A float plane?
Yeah,
YouTube alternative. I'm not familiar with that, Jan. Yeah.
I'm not that familiar. I remember Linus Tech Tips talking about it a while ago on his channel.
Yeah. Okay.
It's actually,
To be honest,
part
I
of
don't
his
remember.
company.
Yeah.
I think it's actually part of Linus' company. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his own, I guess, video hosting platform. But
Got it.
I don't know anything about it.
I'm guessing for the very reasons you guys are talking about, he's made his own platform because. Of
Well,
what
he can do
YouTube
that
did.
because
Well, he's got sponsorships, and
So-
God bless him. He deserves. He's been on for years, and he's fun to watch. So
Linus Tech Tips.
he doesn't need AdSense. No.
Linus Tech Tips has 7 million YouTube subscribers. So all he has to do is tell people I'm over somewhere else, and they will follow him.
Even if only half follow, think about it, that's still millions. Even if a quarter follow, that's still millions. So
Yeah, but what Woodbeast I think is talking about is, the smaller channels like us. Well, nobody's following us. If we go and start a channel on some small video hosting platform, who's going to find us? Nobody knew we existed anyway. We're just starting.
Yeah, right.
Linus can go anywhere, and they're going to follow him. So.
But more importantly, his sponsors will follow him.
Right.
The money will follow him to keep doing what he does.
And
Now,
even if they don't follow him, he has enough money.
Yeah.
He can pay for advertisements
Yes.
all over the internet and get people to find where he's at, wherever he happens to be hosting his streams.
Now, Woodby says, I hear you getting paid, but imagine an alternative. If there's an alternative to cash, let me know. Oh, nudes, you pop some nudes? Okay, man.
The problem with a YouTube alternative is it would be so expensive. It's hard for anybody to create a YouTube alternative. The amount of video that is uploaded every minute to YouTube is massive.
Yes, it is.
The amount of servers that Google has to employ just to serve YouTube is just insane. And Google has admitted they don't make really any money on YouTube. They're basically operating YouTube at a loss, but they have this gigantic, video library that's serving ads. I guess they see some kind of future in it. Plus, I'm sure they get something out of all the data mining from all the
Yeah.
accounts that are associated with YouTube. But really, it's not a moneymaker for them.
Would-be
Google's
Would-be
ad
says, so
network.
you are here for the bucks. If I was here for the money solely, I would not have chosen Linux.
Wow. Yeah.
I'll
If
just
we
be
were here
honest.
for the money, we
Yeah.
wouldn't be talking about Linux.
I mean,
This would be the
you may
last
have
time.
noticed. Yeah, I'm using 5-year-old machines or all to do this. Yeah, it's yeah.
I
Well, now I've
mentioned
chosen
I don't
Linux.
use
Yeah,
laptops without hard drives.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because
yeah,
making
Well, as a
YouTube Linux
professional
money.
YouTube,
yeah.
as a professional YouTube watcher myself, let me ask you two guys something. Would you consider doing like sponsor spots on your videos?
Yeah.
I have been asked before, and I don't want to do them. I'm not saying I would.
If it's
never
product
do
I
them.
use where I have no conflict, like
problem.
say Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Intel, yeah, because I use it. If it was something I don't use, I would probably buy it first. Like, I don't know, let's say like a new shaver or something, maybe not related to Linux. I would want to buy it first, and if I liked it, I would say yes, I will accept the offer. I have no
I don't
problem
want-
with that. Sponsored video by Coca-Cola or by Lenovo. Do I really need to explain that? You know.
I would never want to sponsor or promote a product I wouldn't use.
Yeah.
And I just don't even want to be in the position where I might sponsor something that I wouldn't use personally. So you know what? I don't want corporate sponsors. The YouTube AdSense, and whoever wants to make a donation with PayPal or Patreon, it's their videos. Those guys are paying for my content. I don't want, some company with some crappy product, that nobody knows about.
Well, that's a different story. But like when I ask for sponsors, I mean stuff I would use. I mean, like I use Braun shavers. Of course, I would accept a sponsor. I use it.
And
Why
Black
would
and
I
Decker.
not?
You use all those Black and Decker products. I know you.
Black
wanted
and
a sponsor.
Decker, I would sponsor because I spent the money. It's like, I'm sorry, Black and Decker, I've spent the money. No, don't sponsor me. Just give me your refund. No, it ain't gotta happen. So. That's the main question you Linux people need to create. Well, but your channel drew me in because it seemed like you people were experts. So you have no
Some of us
clue.
aren't.
Well, I think he logged into the wrong stream.
Yeah.
I think he
Well, I've been doing Linux for 13 years, so I don't know if I'm an expert, but I would say I'm experienced. I'm not sure how you define it, but
I'm not sure. Again, Linux is so broad. To say you're an expert in Linux, I mean, that could mean.
Steve
100
says
different
sponsored
things.
by eggs and bacon. Sure, I eat those. Why not? Again, if it's stuff
Cannolis.
I use, it's GNOME eggs or GNU bacon. That's funny. Chris Titus, great channel, did a video on sponsors he's refused to do. Did I see that? Maybe parts of it. Again, one more time, if it's stuff that I use on a daily basis or a yearly or a weekly that I've spent money for, that I use, why would I not want to say this is sponsored by Black & Decker or Braun Shaver or Lenovo? Because I've already bought it. No one forced me to buy it. There's no conflict of interest.
And I share that same opinion. If it was something I use, I don't personally have a conflict with it. But here's why I'm hesitant personally is I know people are going to view my video, your video, whatever. You're throwing a sponsor out there. You're promoting something. They're going to say, TOS or DT, you shill. You're just shilling this product, and you're. And
my reply would be, hey, next time you go to work Monday morning, go to work a full day for free.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'll just throw it out. Go to work the whole week for free. Tell me how you feel.
And there's some people, you can tell them that you love the product, you use it yourself. Some people out there, they're not going to ever be convinced. They're going to say, all you do this for is the paycheck you get from Black & Decker or whatever. It's like,
Again, go to work for free. Tell me how you feel. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
That is not a bad idea. I wish more people actually would create one video on YouTube. Create a video. Edit that thing. And see how long the process takes for, recording it, editing, uploading it, writing a description, create a thumbnail for it, and then tell me YouTube isn't work.
That's right. That yes would be. I use Linux to profit, not to make it better. That's right. I haven't made anything actually. No one's paid me to do this. So I'm not sure where you're going with this. Anyway, hello, Omega Beast. On YouTube editing, Woodby says editing is easy. It's time consuming.
No, it's not.
It's time
It
consuming.
takes forever.
Yeah. That's right. Steve says the Linux Hour is sponsored by the family. Forget about it. Really. Yeah. Ansem says you sold out. Trust me, if I wanted to sell out, I will not be doing Linux. I'd be doing Windows. I would have bought a Mac and get the 98% of the Windows people in here. So
We would be doing one of those live streams
yeah,
where
yeah. If I want to do this strictly for the money, why am I doing Linux? It's stupid. Think about it. Just to be as honest as possible, I do it and did it because I enjoy Linux. I think the potential is there.
Yeah. I mean, we all know the hot issues that, the big Linux channels. What do they all revolve around? I mean, a lot of the top YouTube channels, if you look at like the top 20 channels, about half of them probably revolve around gaming. I mean, if that's what we would be doing if we wanted to do something tech related and get a lot of eyes on our content.
Right? Yeah.
I hate gaming. I would never do that. So
I don't really do. I mean, I don't hate gaming, but if I was sponsored by Steam OS I would say this is sponsored by Steam, even though I'm not a gamer, but they've chosen to sponsor me. I don't know why. Just be upfront. Be honest. That I would say, okay, now go to Steam.
I don't think they pay you very lot for saying that.
But I heard Steam is pretty good for Linux. I'm like, so I'll recommend it. Linux is great, but I am not helping making it better. I guess not. I guess I failed because Linux is still 2% market share. So I guess I failed.
Yeah. I would completely disagree with that. How is Linux is great, but you, Toss, or all of us are not helping making it better? In what way? How do you know that none of us contribute to free and open source projects or Linux in general? That's a very wild ass assumption there to say we don't contribute anything.
It's I mean, I'm not taking it personally, but like I said, I've done this 9 years, over 2,000 videos, mostly on Linux or that type of subject. Mm-hmm. And if I didn't believe in it, I would not have done it. I mean, think about it. 2,000 video. I'm like, holy crap! No wonder I'm so messed up. No, I'm just kidding. But
and if you take a look at a lot of the Linux YouTube channels out there, many of them are devs. They work on Linux distros, or they work on free and open source software of some kind, or they do something in the community. To say the people that are making YouTube videos about Linux aren't contributing or making it better.
I mean, I don't have time to do programming, coding. If there's a fix, but I don't have time.
Even education. I mean, you do educate. I mean, you make people aware of Linux. I mean, you spread awareness of Linux on the desktop. I mean, that is a definite service to the community.
Yeah, as a Windows user still, I have felt, I still believe that to make other Windows/Linux users, potential Linux users, comfortable, you have to talk to them first as a Windows user, because now they relate to you.
Yeah.
Oh, Toss uses Windows 10. Okay. And why do you use Linux, Toss? Oh, okay. Well, he uses Windows still, not as much, but I get it. Now you gain their trust. You hope.
Matter of fact, that's one of the things I love about you, Toss, is the fact that you still use Windows, because you can relate to Windows users switching to Linux in a way I can't, because it's been so long since I've used Windows. I don't even know how to talk to a Windows user about switching to Linux, because it's been so long since I made that switch. I don't, where you kind of use both. I don't know how often you log into Windows, but certainly much more than me. You know a lot more.
Well, obviously, if you don't,
Right.
not as much as Sleepy. No, just kidding. But
I don't know how to do anything on Windows 10.
It's I still use Windows because there's still no national, global, or standard Linux desktop for you to go in and buy. So I don't trust. I should say trust. I don't really trust Microsoft, but I use Windows 10-20% of the time. That's how much better Linux has gotten. But in some occasions where I want to, because Windows Skype has the built-in recorder feature for the news nonsense, so I'll go into Windows when I have to, when I have to. But most of the time, like this, I'm doing this off Ubuntu Mate.
Yeah.
Don't have to use Windows, But to relate to the 800 million Windows users, I use Linux, but I use Windows too. Let me explain why, and let me explain why I do it without somebody paying me to do it. Now you got their attention, because now he's doing this work for free. What kind of idiot? Oh, because there's more privacy. Oh, okay, cool, man. You see how you gain the attention,
Toss, I'm really jealous. I mean, both of us make all this Linux YouTube money, but you make all that Microsoft money that I don't make because Windows.
Yeah, first I trash them, then they pay me. Yeah, yes, that's exactly how it works. Yes. Oh man. Welcome all the late tuners to this stream again. If we have any new people out there, and you wanted to ask a question, again, no question is too stupid. If you were a newbie, please ask. Look, we were all newbies.
Yeah.
In
some areas, we're still very much newbies.
Would-be's, you're not getting the message. The main issue is you're doing this for the money. We haven't been paid.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
I'm not sure where that's coming from,
so. What money are we making?
Yeah.
If you're asking about the ads on the videos,
it's nothing.
I mean, pennies on the dollar, whatever YouTube is making.
If that was the sole topic, I would have said, I have an announcement. I'm done with Linux. Bye-bye.
I seriously could make a video tomorrow, not about Linux. I could pick some hot button issue and make a video that would get 100,000 views and I make a few bucks. I don't know. It still wouldn't be a lot of money, but more than I make making a video about installing Ubuntu or whatever.
Right. Again, the only reason for me to not do a Linux video to go on the Windows is to tell Windows users it's okay to use Windows. If you tried it, Linux, it didn't work, it's okay. I get it. Or say I want to do a tutorial on an app in Windows. There's nothing wrong with that. There are almost 1 billion Windows users. Why would I not want to do that? But then I could say, now that I've shown you this, have you considered using Ubuntu, Mate, or whatever? You say you kind of sneak that in there, Anyway, Easy Nix is in the house. Welcome.
Yeah, it looks like we got about 38 people watching the stream still.
Yeah, considering this is not on the schedule. Yeah.
Make sure you guys thumbs up, toss this stream here.
Yeah, Easy Nix made a Windows 10 install that got 100,000 views. Mm-hmm. Well.
Yeah, because most people run Windows. If you made videos about Microsoft Windows, you would get easily 10 times as many views, maybe 100 times as many views on your videos as Linux.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you wanted to make money about on videos, for one thing, probably computers in general may not be the topic you would choose, but definitely not something as niche as Linux. This would be the last thing. If you were trying to
2%. Can you imagine eating 2% food for your day?
Right, well,
putting 2% gas in the car? How far is that going to catch you? Anyway, oh man.
And I've followed the two of you for a little while now, and the way that I hear you guys talk about Linux and about computers, I don't believe you guys are in it for the money slowly.
No,
you both just love the tech.
We do it because I believed it in 2010. I believe in it now. It would be nice to do this full time. That's going to take money. That's just the reality. That doesn't mean I want to be a millionaire. That's not what I'm saying.
I do have to admit, I do have my own selfish personal reasons for doing these videos, and it's partly to educate others, but it's really to educate me. Some of the topics that I do these videos on are things I don't know much about and I want to be better at. Yeah. And the best way to do that is to teach others. So if I'm going to take the time, and learn myself, I'll make a video about it because it actually educates me more than just me reading the Arch Wiki or whatever. If I actually have to take the time to try to properly teach others, it teaches me in a better way.
It is an exchange of knowledge.
Yeah.
That's exactly the sense that I get when I watch your videos, DT.
It is.
And I get a bit of a kick when I see you make mistakes and that sort of stuff. That's funny.
Yeah, and I always leave the mistakes in the videos, and people ask, man, why don't you edit that stuff out? I want you to see the mistakes I make and then me fix them. is because that's an educational thing too, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, Easy Nix, you're not the only person left there really likes Linux niche status on the desktop. It's still there at 2%. I wish it was more to get the Windows users to have them have a viable alternative, but maybe that'll never happen. I don't know.
He makes a point there too. I have actually talked to people, especially in certain Linux communities, like the Arch Linux community, for example, that they actually like that not that many people use Linux. They're happy with it. They don't want Linux to be popular because they're afraid of all the noobs.
Well, then why am I here? When you think about it, I'm still here. Yeah, anyway, but
because they don't want to have to say RTFM to all these new Linux users. You know, they would just rather them stay on Windows or Mac or wherever they're at.
Yeah. A computer numerical control router is a computer-controlled cutting machine related to the handheld routing used for cutting hard materials such as wood. Is that run by Linux?
Yeah.
But you know, it's the first time I knew I had something with the channel was I did a tutorial on Ubuntu or something, and the guy wrote, "Oh, God bless you, this was exactly what I was looking for." I'm like, and I forget exactly what I did, but I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, it made me feel good, yeah.
I've had people email me about problems I helped them solve with their computer, sometimes personally, but a lot of times through just them watching my video. I mean, heartfelt messages. I've actually had handwritten letters mailed to me, people that got my physical address, and to tell me how this video changed their life or whatever. And when you get that sort of thing, that's why you do this.
It's kind of creepy in a way, but okay. It's all positive.
It's a little weird.
A little weird. It's like you're gonna peel open the envelope. Okay, all right. Just send me an email. No letters to the editor. Just send me an email, okay?
Yeah, they got the DT PO box and
yeah. Well, if you get a PO box, yeah. Of all the videos I've done, including I think I've been most happy and proud with, not necessarily technology related, like the one on how to stop cyberbullying, which I guess is technology related. Yeah. I thought that was I thought that wonderful concert with Stephanie, full concert the first time, where she met new friends and we got to know. I think that was wonderful, you know. And like I said, if it wasn't for Ubuntu, I probably would not be here, because that was my first date with Linux, and that's why I want Ubuntu to be the national. Okay, so I'm selfish. I want them to do it, you know. But it could be anybody for the national Linux desktop.
Well, I don't use Ubuntu, but Ubuntu was what got me into Linux. So I think Ubuntu's great. I'm a big fan of Ubuntu.
It's great. I mean, I think how many Ubuntu-based systems have grabbed newbies to come in to try it because it just works.
Right.
You know, so politics aside, it just works.
I mean, I probably would not have found Linux if it wasn't for Ubuntu. How popular Ubuntu was around 2008, when it kind of was really, I guess, it kind of at the height of some of its popularity.
Yeah.
Back with GNOME 2 desktop and Compiz and all the whiz bang features, and a lot of people were starting to really move from Windows because of Vista. People were looking for alternatives back then. And that's when I started hearing on the internet this Ubuntu thing. I knew it was a Linux distro. I knew Linux a little bit because I used Linux servers, web servers, and things like that. But running it on your desktop, could you actually live in that? I didn't think you could, but people swore to it. I saw people making the switch. That's what got me to make the switch, and I haven't looked back. So.
Yeah, somebody said I'm a member of the TOS fan club. Thank you. White chocolate, okay.
Love the name.
Yeah, well, I love white chocolate. I mean the real white. I mean you too, but I like the actual candy. Yeah, okay. But no, it's Linux has come a long way. It wasn't really newbie friendly in 2006. It really wasn't in 2010. It's really reached that stage where a newbie can get used to. Really, the past 2-3 years, maybe, because I started doing Ubuntu or Linux and trying to do Windows versus Linux comparisons, telling people, well, Linux isn't quite there yet. And of course, you had the fanboys saying, "You don't know what you're talking about, blah 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 blah." And I was looking back on the analytics. I think I've lost 7,000 subscribers in the 9 years because of topics like that, which I didn't mean to be controversial, but I call it as I see it, and it turned out to be the truth. Back then, Linux wasn't really ready for newbies, or the Linux desktop, that is. I can't say that anymore, obviously,
Right. I mean,
or at least some Linux, some desktops. So, but I call it as I see it, and I did it to tell the truth, not to be popular, And I think the people that have stuck around realize, you know what? Yeah, he was right. Linux desktop in the past wasn't ready for prime time. Now it is,
Well, no, you don't. I mean, 10, 15 years ago when you had to do things like write an Xorg config or, patch your own kernel or,
A lot of terminal stuff. You can't expect a newbie. You can't expect Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Yeah, go in the terminal. I mean, come on. Really?
Even as late as 5 years ago, how was getting Wi-Fi drivers on your laptop installed? How was that going for you? It's gotten a lot better, right? Nowadays, it's a lot easier. 10 years ago,
Yeah.
you had situations where you just couldn't get some Wi-Fi chips to work.
Yeah, right. I mean, nowadays, Linux versus Windows, it's more of a perception problem versus a technical problem, Hello, Julie H. Are you new to the channel? Your name does not ring a bell. Forgive me if you've been here, but hello, Julie H. See, this is why I stay on. I was going to cut this at 10:30, but I'm going to stay on because there's some new people here, and this is why I stay on. Again, this is why we do it, or why I do it. So, that being said, all the PayPal and Patreon supporters, I want to say thank you again. I should say it after every stream. I don't, but I'm going to say it. Thank you.
And we've had some good discussion, and you're still getting people joining the stream. You had 40 people.
Great. Yeah, considering this was not on the schedule, it was just a last minute thing. I had some time, and I am here. Check out the MeWe page, the Toss MeWe page. Thank you. MeWe, I think they are serious about privacy for what I've seen. I don't see any ads that they sell extra services, which are reasonable. So check out MeWe. Yeah, I'm on there a lot, or more than Facebook anyway. Julie, what Linux do you use, or do you even use Linux, if I may ask?
You still on the Mate toss?
Yeah, Ubuntu Mate on this one. I have Ubuntu on my test machine that'll probably upgrade to 19 when it's ready as a test. I have Linux Mint on the other machine. I downloaded SwagArch Linux to try when I get a chance.
Nice, yeah. If you like XFCE, you'll like SwagArch.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's easy. Again, anything that I believe is stable enough for Windows users, I will always recommend. Not what's necessarily best for me, but yeah. You've been a Total OS for a long time. Oh, a watcher of the channel. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I've always, I've been as honest as open as I can be. Even when I felt this will alienate a lot of, and I have a lot of 7,000 people who didn't subscribe anymore, but I called it as I see it. You cannot lie to potential Linux users, meaning Windows people talking. You cannot blow a lot of sunshine when it's darkness out there. And that's what it was years ago that we've talked about, where Linux wasn't ready for prime time. I can't say that anymore, so.
You mean you've got integrity?
Yeah, let me look that up. What does that mean? Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. Oh, I mean, there was one video that I should have kept it up for fun, but it's why Windows users can't switch to Linux. It was probably the most unique set of comments, and that one probably I lost the most subscribers if I had to guess, or a high percentage. But it was like there was one comment, man, you hit the nail on the head. 2, you have no freaking idea what you're talking. It's like, okay, now pick one, But I took it down because, of course, Windows 7 is almost gone, But I didn't change my opinion. because back then it was what it was, But Linux, the desktop, it's gotten better, much better. It is ready to be sold to the masses. Again, Chromebooks is a Linux standard. The laptops, the Pixelbook. So if you have the mafia, you need to try Ubuntu, okay? Be respectful of the family.
And the fact that you can get most of your Linux apps installed on Chrome OS now.
Yeah.
And probably eventually you'll be able to get them all. They still got some multimedia stuff to work out. They got to get some of the audio issues.
Yeah.
And certain other things. Something like Blender, for example, animated video stuff. It's not going to work on Chrome OS, but we're getting pretty close with Chrome OS.
Dan's in the house. Who killed the Linux desktop? It was the freaking Barzini family. They took a hit, and that was the end.
I must admit that video title of yours, Tom, is a little bit clickbaity.
Hi, Dan. No, it's I came on tonight. There was a report. If it's true, it's very disappointing, but I guess not surprising. Google is going to cut back. They're cutting back on the Create division, Google Hardware division, on the production on laptops, tablets, and other projects. And we've talked about during the Ubuntu shows that a potential player in the national Linux desktop would be Google, but they appear to be cutting back. And my mind was, gee, maybe the Linux desktop for the masses, not for us, but for the masses, is dead. That's why it's still 2%. And it's
they may want to just leave the hardware aspect of
it could be
Android devices and Chrome OS devices to the pros. People like Samsung, let them build the devices. We'll just build the OS. So.
It would be nice to have a sliver of hope. Like again, if Intel sponsored the next Ubuntu show or AMD, then I can say, hey, this Ubuntu show 6 is sponsored by. Now we can take it seriously for a Linux desktop. Because now someone's putting their money where their mouth is. They're not just
wearing a green shirt, boss. You need to be sponsored by NVIDIA.
Yes, or sponsored by the Irish pub or something. Yeah. Anyway, no one's been laid off. Just moved to different departments. I've heard that before. I hope it's true, Steve. Well, you're in management, Steve. I used to be. One thing I've noticed, and maybe Steve, you can relate, you cannot cut your way to the top. I hope I'm wrong. I really, really hope I make a fool out of myself with this video and we see a Linux desktop next year. Then I can say, thank God I was an idiot and I predicted it wrong. I don't see it. Julie says you use Windows. Watching your videos a couple of months when I can't because of white chocolate. You don't have to eat chocolate to use Linux. You have to eat cannolis. Julie, that's why. Everybody say hello to Julie. Come on. Hi, Julie. Say hello.
Hi, Julie.
Everybody say hello to Julie. Welcome.
And white chocolate is good. I like cannolis, too.
Yes, I do. Not usually. Sometimes I'll have a Hershey bar. I don't have it tonight, maybe tomorrow morning when I Skype Stephanie, I'll have hey, Stephanie, how you doing? I'm just eating a Hershey bar. Excuse me. Say hi to Julie. Go ahead. Go on. Make her feel comfortable here on this wonderful, world-class Total OS community. Ben, I'm going to get off here in about 5-10 minutes. I'm starting to get a little tired. Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to get late.
Yeah, I might do another live stream tomorrow, 1-2 p.m. That'll be by invite. Check your emails. It'll be live, but it'll be by invite. The usual Sunday UK version of the show. I just wanted to jump on tonight because of that disappointing news from Google. So I felt that was something to discuss, a good topic to talk about. So again, I hope it's I hope it doesn't. I hope we see a Linux desktop for the masses. I'll just leave it at that.
Easy Nick says he hasn't had a good cannoli since he left New York City. You can get good cannolis all over the US. It's not hard to find good cannolis.
Wonderful. Really.
I can get good cannolis here in Australia as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm in Louisiana.
Once in a while, yeah.
There's Italians here that can make a good cannolis. You can always find Italians that you can get with a cannoli. So.
Ben, yeah, all Patreon, PayPal supporters are automatically invited to the private streams. Ben, yeah, don't worry, yeah. Again, I'll see how I feel in the morning. So, I think last week Steph and I spoke for 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Anyway, just catching up on stuff. Speaking of Steph, let me type in her website. Stephanie is an independent singer-songwriter. She doesn't have time to mess with Linux because of her job overseas singing and stuff. She uses Mac, but she's a wonderful person.
You had to clarify that.
Yeah, wonderful person, regardless of her using Mac. She has a real voice. She's a community person, like we are. And if you like her music, you can buy her music. That's about as fair as she can be. But yeah, she's a wonderful. There we go. StephanieForian.bandcamp.com. She did a concert for us, a freebie, last August 3rd. She's good. She's the real deal. She's got a wonderful voice. I guess she got the voice from her mom. She said her mom forced her to learn the guitar when she was little without the pick, just with the fingers. Anyway, she has a gift, so check her out and tell her I sent you. If you like her music, I just bought one of her songs. No, not today. I get that a lot today. Oh, just kidding. She's adorable. Yes, she is. She's a sweetheart. Yes, and a great talent. Pretty. Yes, she is. So check her out. And again, go to the StephanieForian.bandcamp, and you can check out her songs for free. Download some of the songs for free if you want, but throw her a buck or two. Come on, So. Linux is the future, even for the desktop. Why do there need to be so many different distros? YouTube has 50 spin-offs. That's part of the problem. It's a plus and a minus, Jan. For the Linux desktop, we just need the one. And it doesn't have to be necessarily off of, it could be based off of Gentoo. Phones are, tablets are, the Android, right? But just want it to work, What happens to Linux when the socialists take over? Woodbeast, here is a brief description of true socialism. Socialism is not having to build your own highway to drive on it. Okay? That's not confused. Yeah.
The great thing with free software is nobody can take it over. It's already out there. Anybody can fork it, modify it, distribute it, do anything they want.
Talk about being social.
Yeah, including the socialists. They can take it and do what they want with it, but guess what?
Right.
Anybody else can too. So it's a different kind of mentality you have with this free software that we talk about.
Yeah, I get. There's comments on Facebook. Oh, socialism, blah blah blah. Oh, no problem. Let's get rid of Social Security, veterans benefits, disability benefits, highway funds, bailouts. That's all socialism. Tomorrow it's over. See what happens.
What if Google took over Linux? That's a common question. What if Microsoft took over Linux? How? The Linux kernel is out there under the GPL. If Microsoft, they can't take it over, but assuming they could, okay. Well, guess what? We have a copy of it on our machines. We still have that version that we own. We could fork it, modify it, do whatever.
Open source is socialist by nature, Easy-Nix. I guess it is in a way.
In a lot of ways, yes.
I just thought of the next, make a sequel to The Godfather based off of Linux. This freaking Ubuntu family, they're taking over. Okay,
you got the 5 families.
We got the Fedora family. We got the Slackware family. Yeah, we got the Swagarch family. But this freaking Ubuntu, we got to do something about it. It's a disease.
That's going to give some idea to make some sort of animated film about it.
What they've done is spoof of the Godfather movie back. It was called The Godson with Dom DeLuise.
Yeah.
He was a comedian. There's a wonderful scene. Can I tell this joke? Yeah, I guess I can. There was a funeral scene, So it was a funeral scene for Sonny Corleone, but in the movie it was Sonny Calzone. Here lies Sonny Calzone. He lived hard. He died hard. He was always hard. It was a wonderful joke. I guess that's clean enough. But oh my God! But yeah.
The 5 families of Linux. One of the families has to be Gentoo.
Yes, it's the Gentoo family.
And when they take somebody out with a hit, it always takes a long time, though. It's never quick.
We should call each other comrade. Hey, I support our President Putin. He's doing a terrific job.
That was one of Gen 2, though.
Yeah, Gen 2, the Gen 2 family.
Trying to take someone out. Oh, I've got to compile something.
The BSD, Don BSD is here. Yeah. This is the type of fun we have on these on this channel. By the way, if you are new, we're not usually this idiotic. No, just kidding.
No, this is normal.
Yeah,
Actually,
anything for a
we
laugh.
would be
Almost, yeah. It can't be all just tech and terminal commands. Got to be some fun in it. So.
No one wants shell commands this late at night.
Yeah.
Were you
often
trying to hack the chat, DT, earlier?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Were you trying to hack the chat?
Yes, I was. I actually, I've got an
I blocked
IRC,
them. Yeah.
IRC chat client open, and I meant to leave the channel I was on, and I typed it in the YouTube chat rather than
See,
the
when somebody
IRC.
tries to hack me or send me a bad, I get like a little icon with the caddy trunk that pops up and closes. Give me a warning. No, I'm just kidding. But speaking of, let's give this the 5-minute warning. It's 11. Been on now for what, a couple hours or so. I lost track. But anyway, thank you everybody for stopping by. It's always a pleasure doing these. So I'm glad I got on tonight. Julie, welcome. If you're new, welcome. Did you say you tried using Linux? It didn't work out. I missed the comment. Sorry about that. Did you say you tried to use Linux? What was that comment? I don't remember. Anyway,
I think she said that White Chocolate put it onto your channel.
that's it. The white chocolate.
Ah,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now I remember. Okay. Cool. Nice. IRC used that years ago.
Yeah, it's still going. And you can use IRC.
Yeah.
Most Linux distributions have IRC support
Yes.
channels that you can go to get help with your Linux installs.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Let me take another quick look at the ticker feed and see what's up here, and we'll wrap it up. I love the ticker feed. It works pretty good in Windows and Linux. Awesome. UK's air-breathing rocket engine set for test. That's interesting. Air-breathing. Wow. Okay. To check that out. I love watching shows like on PBS, History Channel, Frontline about technology stuff and other stuff. It's very, very interesting. That's why I caught a good show on History Channel called Project Blue Book. Kind of like an X-Files set in the 50s. It's really good. Apple responds to Spotify complaints over App Store. Well, I won't sleep good tonight. Facebook loses chief product officer and WhatsApp head.
Yeah, Facebook has been letting some of their people go, some of the top people.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's more to some of that than
Yeah. We have to get tossed on peppermint. I've actually tried peppermint. I thought it was nice. White chocolate, yeah.
it's too stable.
Too stable.
It's too stable, yeah. Forget about stable. Hey, what's the matter with you? Ubuntu Studio remains officially recognized Ubuntu flavor. Okay. Well, speaking of Ubuntu.
Well, that's good. They were considering dropping it a couple of weeks back. So
Yeah. Yeah, I took a brief look at the new one of the daily images. It seemed okay. Yeah, it was all right.
Well, they had a problem. I guess a couple of years ago, their main dev left,
That's
and
right.
then
Yeah.
nobody that was left working on the project had permissions to upload anything to the main Ubuntu repositories. So it left the project in this weird kind of state. If you followed the last 3-4 releases of Ubuntu Studio, not much is happening as far as innovation. They're basically the people that are there just kind of maintaining it, and they actually have to beg other people for permission to actually upload things to the,
Wow.
the repositories. So they were kind of in a bad way.
Kevin says Linux desktop alive, kicking, screaming, and kicking for sure, but kicking. For the 2% it is. I want it to be more than that, Kevin, yeah. But it certainly is. Well, we are kicking it alive and kicking it not now, so
Steve
I
says.
just wanted to I want more. I want more than the just 2%,
Steve says white chocolate and peppermint. What a combo.
Yeah.
There you go. Um, let's see if there's any quick oddball news to wrap this up. Shark gives diver a kiss on the face. I didn't know sharks were lonely. Interesting.
I hope there was no tongue.
Yeah, and how much face was left?
Yeah. No, there's actually a shark with the mouth just tapping the diver's mask like the kiss. It's kind of cute in the way. Okay. That's what it says. So, yeah. There was actually a cute, speaking of kisses, there was a cute Valentine's joke, or not but a pickup line that just popped to my head. But the line goes, say you're at a bar and you tell the girl, hey, can I follow you home because my parents always told me to follow my dreams. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. Yeah. Like that. Harmless, you know. All right. Last minute. Anything else that we missed? Newbies, question. This is your final warning before I say nighty night. You guys are getting punchy. Hey, you talking to me? Hey, you. Boeing, what's next after the 737s? I don't know what's up with their planes, man. Maybe too much windows in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of sad. Yeah. Those are like newer.
With Switch to Linux about that the other day.
Oh,
yeah, and it's to do with it was all to do with software updates.
That's probably what it is. I haven't really caught up on. I guess those are newer planes, more automation versus pilot error. I guess there was some satellite data showing both planes performed or exhibited the same problems. Yeah, but you would think now, this day and age, with all this testing, that would not be an issue. But honestly, I don't know. We'll have to wait for the final report. The last really major crash was, remember that Air France in '09 that went in the ocean, where it just dropped? And that was actually pilot error. It was a combination of the computer, but back then they were saying that the pilot should have been trained enough to manually fly the plane, but it just dropped out of the sky. So, anyway. Steve says, what's tomorrow's winning lottery, Vince? He has to ask his kangaroo neighbor first. Yeah, right.
I haven't had my daily Vegemite today, so I can't tell you.
Yeah, okay.
I know what I'm having for breakfast.
Tomorrow morning I'll be having, I'm not sure what I'll be having, but
toast and Vegemite.
There we go. I'll probably have, I actually have some Hawaiian rolls in the fridge. I'll probably put some butter on there and maybe have a banana, keep it light. I ate too much tonight at Bennigan's. We had that Irish, holiday weekend festival. I had a Reuben sandwich and other things. I'm like, ooh. It was good, though.
I love a Reuben. Yeah.
Oh, man, it was good. It was good. All right, Ron, good night to you. Yeah, thank you. Good night, Would-be hilarious troll. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to put away the caddy trunk for tonight, okay? I just cleaned it up. It's ridiculous. I got to use bleach every freaking week, No, he's not a troll. Would-be is a friend and follower of the channel, so... all right, well, I guess on that now, let me close out the ticker feed and happy Poets Day. Oh,
interesting.
One final joke. It's an Irish joke. What is an Irish? I gotta think. What is an Irish 7-course meal? A 6-pack and a potato.
Wow.
Not my joke. I just picked it up off the web. No offense to anybody. I'll probably say that tomorrow on the Skype chat with Steph because she hasn't heard it. She's in bed there in Germany. So anyway, and my son is half Irish. His middle name is Brendan. Anyway, pies on everything tomorrow. It's P-I-S. Yeah, I had to say pies and not the other word. Yeah.
Are we talking raspberry pies? I'm confused.
I don't know. It's P-I-S. I think he meant the raspberry, not the other smart toilet. P-I-S. Yeah.
Okay.
March Madness. That's football. No, football. No, that's basketball, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't get it. Oh, Kevin, I had the luck of the Irish. Well, Kevin, sir, Happy St. Patrick's Day. I love Irish people.
I love our Irish whiskey.
Irish cream.
Yeah, good stuff too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Kevin, were you born there in Ireland, or Woodbeast likes that joke? You're welcome. Danka? I'm not familiar with Danka. It sounds like a drink. Irish wife. Ah, okay. Kevin says, no, you were not born there. Okay, all right. Irish whiskey, yeah. Lucky the Irish lad. I love the accents. Hey, come on in, lad. Yes. Try some Ubuntu. Anyway. Redhead mean. I'm not going to go there, Woodbeast. Yeah. Yeah. So on that high note, we're going to wrap this up right now. Be nice. All right. I'll catch some of you tomorrow, probably at 1 or 2, depending. I'll have to send out the emails. But anyway, I'm going to get some sleep, get some rest for tonight. I had a good meal, so I should. I actually, after I ate, I felt like I was in Italy during siesta time. You eat like a full course meal, then, and that's before the wine.
I have that every day.
Oh, okay. Oh, Australia, man. Yeah. Jan. Okay, Jan. Thank you, everyone. Julie, it was nice meeting you. Jump on again. And if you have any questions
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, DT.
Thank you.
All right. Good to see you. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'll just say
everyone.
arrivederci.